water. All right. We are live. We are good to go. Scoop, are you good to go?
I'm live on everything.
Let's do it. All right. Thank you for bearing with us as we deal with some technical difficulties, but we are live now. We are ready to go. Super Bowl 60 post-show recap after hours. Our final recap show of the year will be gone for about 2 weeks and a half. We'll be back on the 28th of February after this, taking a short break to rest our lungs, our minds, our bodies, our vocal cords. Well, vocal cords for me specifically because I'm freaking dying. But with that, let's finish out strong. We got Scoop, we got Shane, we got Brandon, we got myself ready for Super Bowl 60. How are you all doing?
Doing well.
I was going to say, shouldn't you and Shane be the ones answering that question, brother?
Yeah.
I have this. Can anyone guess what this is?
Red wine?
No. Brandon, guess what this is?
I would have no idea. I literally have no idea. I couldn't even tell you. Because if it's not wine. I know it's not alcohol. It's not alcoholic, is it?
This
cabbage
is not
juice.
No, it's not cabbage juice. My dad made Shane was at my house watching the game. My dad made Shane and I try cabbage juice, cabbage and sauerkraut juice. It was terrible.
Looks like it kind of looks like Snapple apple.
Right.
Shane,
This was right after This was right after he'd made a lovely flat iron steak dinner and potatoes, and then he goes, here, try this. I was like, no, I'm okay. No, try it. Okay. I was like,
Shane, you had this at my house instead of alcohol. What is
did.
this?
And it's cranberry juice.
It's cranberry juice. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I had never had it before, but it was pretty good.
You never had cranberry juice before?
I mean, I've not either.
Nope.
Oh, it's fantastic. Buy Ocean Spray cranberry juice. It's brilliant.
Okay, I've seen the commercials for that. Which, speaking of commercials, that better be part of the show tonight because
yeah. Okay, so I will start because I have things to say. First off,
I would certainly hope so.
we were right on everything again. We hit this game right on the money. And 2 weeks ago, everything we said happened. Everything. We hit it perfectly. And so let me put it this way. So, I've learned something in the last 6 Super Bowls. I've learned it in both Super Bowls, well, particularly in these ones. 2 Super Bowls the Chiefs lost, 49ers, and congrats to you guys, your Eagles. The same thing happened last night that happens in and by the way, and I said this 2 weeks ago, I learned this as well with the Rams beating the Bengals. Same exact story. The Super Bowl is won in the trenches and the trenches only. In the modern era of the Super Bowl, it is the trenches that wins you the Super Bowl. Nothing else wins you the Super Bowl but that. Shane, go ahead from there.
Not in the modern era, in the Super Bowl period.
You think period?
I mean, I've watched every Super Bowl since 2009, and that's been the case in pretty much every one of them.
Oh my goodness, Brandon, is that your experience with this Super Bowl, but also the Super Bowls you watched with your Philadelphia Eagles?
Well, how many times do we always say that basically like we were talking about a game can be won and lost on like a handful of plays. Those handful of plays 99% of the time are defensive line or offensive line plays, and I mean look at the shootout we had against the Patriots, right? That was nothing but offense. But you know what won the game? It's Brandon Graham's strip sack, and not just that. But just defense in general wins championships. That's the old saying. But Brandon Graham's strip sack was the first pretty much stop of the game. So when you have you have that, you're gonna win, and that's the play that's remembered for that game. Last year, it was putting belt to ass on Mahomes on offensive line in 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Like that's it's just that it is what it is. I think about. I mean, remember when the Saints won their Super Bowl, that defense was really good all year. I mean,
Excuse me.
Bounty Gate aside, but that defense was really damn good all year. So, I think about it, and when I just look at the we talk about, and it's crazy because that I believe that they're talking about the sacks, right, with Burrow and May, that Burrow
Yeah.
was what Burrow was the most sacked that Super Bowl year, right, that they went to. That was the
Yeah,
year.
and then May beat him
And
last
they
night.
beat him last night. Like, I don't understand, for me, as someone who kind of knows O lines and loves the trenches, and I've been the one saying for almost every iteration of our show, when you draft or when you get guys in free agency or what have you, it should always start. Your first preliminary look should always be in the trenches.
Your two goals as an NFL organization is very simple: get the quarterback right, get the offensive line right. You'll win a Super Bowl, and get the
Yeah.
D line right. So
Yeah, 'cause it
QB,
doesn't-
O line,
As-
D line, get that right.
As
You'll
they,
win a Super Bowl.
as they say on the herd, get the quarterback, get him weapons, and get the guys to go after their weapons and their quarterback.
Like that's like it.
Yeah.
It's what bothers me so much is when everybody's like, oh, look what Joe Burrow does with no O line. Yeah, it's admirable, but he's never going to win anything as long as that O line sucks. That's the difference. You could put Tom Brady, behind that Patriots line last night, and he still would not win that game.
He would lose
So-
by he would lose by the same exact score.
Yeah,
It would be the exact
Yep.
same thing.
like it's people really don't realize how important that is. Everybody gawks over the star players, like the skill players. Everybody gawks over quarterback, running back, wide receiver, DB, but your front seven defensively, and your 5 guys up front. Sometimes depending on the package 6 or however many you have. That's really what's going to win you a game. Is just and literally from the first snap of the game, Drake May was in hell, and I feel terrible for him. That guy ended up with more grass stains than a soccer player sliding on his knees. But it's like I really, really wish that people would take the time to understand how important that is, because it's the same problems that we said for a lot of these teams this year. Do they have an O-line? Yes or no? If not, they're not winning anything. Patriots, great season, but you didn't play anybody. We said this all year. And then B, you finally play somebody, and your offensive line couldn't stop them to save their life. So
Yeah.
and for the love of God, and my buddy Eric, diehard Patriots fan, he said this last night. His cousin's also a Patriots fan. They said pretty much, why the hell are we not taking out Will Campbell? I forget who their backup is, but apparently he's actually better than Will Campbell.
Will Campbell looked like the Winter Olympics is happening right now. He looked like he was on figure skates the whole night. He looked like he was on damn figure skates.
I've never seen a guy get blown off the ball that much in one game. I've never seen it. Every play he was blown right back. There was even a false start where he got pushed over and hit the ground. It's like, and the false start was on him, no less. So I'm like, bro, I understand you're struggling. I understand you're playing hurt, but even if you're playing hurt, nobody looks that bad. That just means you suck. That was absolutely pathetic.
Before I go to Scoop, Shane, there was one play that we really loved where the D lineman just took the O lineman and pushed him back into the quarterback.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that was it was their rookie 98. I can't even remember his name right now.
I'll check for you. I remember.
But yeah, no, he literally. I mean, you guys probably remember this. He was driving his lineman back, and he literally sacked May with the lineman in between them. Like he
Yeah.
reached over the guy and grabbed him and pulled him. I was like, that's so badass. I've never seen that in my life. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But
Riley Mills. Riley Mills, the rookie. Yeah, it was Riley Mills.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
came in and did that. It was insane.
He just what? I think, and it was in the middle of it was in the interior of the O line, right? It was like he blew the
He's a
center
D
back,
tackle.
whatever it was.
He's a D tackle.
Yeah, I think it was the guard.
he blew the center off the ball. Yeah.
For center, yeah.
And also, really quick, and I think Scoop can speak on this more than I can. These idiots need to stop blaming Drake May for this loss. It's not his damn fault.
Casuals will do that. Casuals will always blame a quarterback in a
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, Scoop, you can go on that because I know you're passionate about quarterbacks being blamed
Yeah.
for things that they don't do right.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, excuse me. Did Drake May have a bad game yesterday? Yes. That being said, frankly, Sam Darnold didn't have a great game until very late in the game either. And on top of that, what were we just talking about? The trenches, right? Do you guys know who Keyshawn? I assume you guys know who Keyshawn Johnson is, former Jets wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bucks, yeah, Cowboys, yeah.
He was drafted in 1996. And that is the last time that a first overall pick was not a QB, offensive tackle, or defensive end.
How did that work out?
My point from that is basically those are the three positions that if you don't have right, you ain't winning shit. You're just not. And it's, I think, and, we talk about, how many times have I ranted on here or on WTS about the fact that these quarterbacks, these great college quarterbacks, get drafted high, go into crap situations, which typically don't have the offensive line, defensive line, or both right, and then we wonder why these guys never reach their full potential. We talk about guys going into situations and bad situations. Usually, a bad situation includes either no offensive line, no defensive line, or both. It's all interconnected. So it's, and we go to yesterday to Drake May. Now, again, multiple things are true at once. And the fact is, going back to the season before, there was a lot, I think, that a lot of people, myself included, had questions about. He answered a lot of questions both during the regular season and at the beginning of the postseason, or at least he looked like he was going to answer those questions if he hadn't already. But here's the excuse me. But here's the thing. He can, I don't care what quarterback you are, and this is, I talk sometimes about, well, we all do, about, people will look back into history and say, well, this quarterback, also had this great wide receiver, or this great offensive line, or this great defensive line. Yeah, no flip. How are they going to be great with nothing around them? Andrew Luck had nothing around him. He friggin' retired at 26, or whatever age he was. So it's going back to Drake May yesterday specifically to speak on that specific. They were able to put up 13 points yesterday, and excuse me, both teams put up a pair of touchdowns. The Patriots had a fumble lost and 2 picks, but again, there was all those jokes about early in his career in New York about Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. I mean, I don't even know what Drake May was seeing yesterday, but it wasn't his fault, because how are you going to see anything clearly when your brain takes, I think it's like 0.3 seconds to process something like that, and that's about how long you have before your ass is on the ground.
Scoop, I'm sorry. Can I add to your point really quick?
Please.
Okay, that was my favorite thing about this game. The Patriots' game plan was so obvious. They were like, we're going to pressure him. We're going to make him throw an interception. You know what he did every time that happened in specific moments in the game? He threw the ball away, he threw it to the ground, or he somehow made a miraculous play to a receiver. There were so many opportunities for the Patriots to get him to throw at least 3 picks, and in every one of those situations, he either made the perfect throw or the perfect decision.
They
that
dropped
was a huge
a couple
thing.
picks, though.
You,
They dropped.
They
a couple
did,
picks.
yes. Yeah, they
you know,
did.
Sorry,
No, I'm done. Go.
okay.
Although it wasn't though like
you know,
well,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
I was just gonna say it wasn't like the picks in that Rams game where it was like he just threw it straight at them in the numbers. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, exactly.
like it was
they were
was
trying
kind of
to do that, but it
balls.
didn't work.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think from the vantage point, and I wish that they had the frickin' this is another game where I was just like, why can't we have the Madden Cam or whatever the hell they call it? Why can't we have that as an option? Because I would have, because I would have loved to actually look straight on at what he was seeing and like what he made, like what may have been going through his head as he made some of the throws that he made, and but again, the Patriots, they actually converted more on third down. They actually, defensively, they actually defended more passes than the Hawks did. One of the main differentiators was that Darnold only took 1 sack and Drake May took 6. And
the Seahawks were just better on downs 1 and 2. That's why they didn't get the third down as much as the Patriots did.
And some people will blame, and this season was true. Where did Rob go? But some people will blame the fact that he holds the ball too long, which he did hold the ball for a decent amount of time this season. But again, how are you going to make quick decisions when you're the amount of times that you even have to make that decision? Again, there's a certain amount of time your brain takes to fundamentally process what it's seeing, and he was given only a fraction of the amount of time that he should have been. So, again, there's every element of this. You can look at what is going on around him, and at least some significant level, not just some level, but some significant level of what's there, or what rather wasn't there, falls not just on him, but we said all season. How many times did one of our biggest things, I said it, and I think each of y'all said it, we talked about how one of the biggest reasons why we didn't believe in the Patriots, or why we at least thought could be their undoing, was what do they have around Drake May and Mike Vrabel? And last night, Drake May and Mike Vrabel are the only reason that they didn't get shut out.
All right, can you guys hear me okay? I had to reset. Can you guys hear me all right?
yeah.
Loud and clear, Commander Zalosi,
I will
over.
say, honorable mention to Christian Gonzalez. He played his ass off.
I was gonna say that. I think
Yeah.
the best individual player in this entire game on either team was probably Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Oh, by far.
Like that dude was on fire.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
The only.
Can I pause everybody really quick? I found.
Yeah, of course.
can't
I
believe
want to respond to Shane at some point, but go on.
Yes. I can't believe I just found this now because it just popped up on my feed really quick. From Pro Football Talk, I found this from Devin Witherspoon, and shout out to SiriusXM because they did this interview with Witherspoon at the end of the game. This audio is amazing. Here's what Witherspoon said about the Patriots and them winning the Super Bowl. Shane is going to lose his mind when he hears this.
Defensive performance in history. Did you know that they were going to use you as versatile as you were today?
Well, of course I did. They asked a lot of questions pre this game, before this game. And I told them I can't lay the game plan out to the media, but I kind of knew what was going on. We had a good tell on what they like to do and how they like to play and how they was going to attack us. So talking about a coach who put us in the best position to win. That's our coach right there, and that's why we stand beside him, and that's how we always going to have his back.
You're taking one of the best corners on the field, and you want to keep him in coverage, but you're one of the best blitzers today. Why was that?
We had a tell on their guards and their tackles, how they like to set. They're going to overset on certain rushes. They're going to fall for certain moves. And you talking about a group of guys who got after them today, I think we did that.
Overall, the secondary, the defense, the performance, how was it?
It was great. I feel like we kind of let up a little bit. We gave up 2 touchdowns on the end. We're going to go back and watch it, I said it, and we always going to that. About a group of guys who's going to battle and who's going to get after you and turn your lights off. You're looking at him right now, and that's the dark side right there. Super Bowl champion
He
Devin Witherspoon.
he literally said in the thing, Shane. He said we had to tell on their guards and their tackles. They knew exactly what they were doing the whole game.
Yeah, and it's and a lot of it is because of how they were disguising pressures. And I mean, this is what they've done all year. The for instance, a great example of this was the Uchenna Nwosu pick six.
Oh yeah.
Which it's still kind of
Yeah.
funny that that's an interception, but
Yeah. Before
but
you get to that, I want Scoop to finish his thought before you get to that whiteboard. But go.
oh
go
yeah,
on
yeah,
from
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
It was extremely short.
Yeah.
And I was just going to say, because I forget which one of y'all said, but said that Christian Gonzalez should have been player of the game.
I would say that.
Yeah, but
I
here's
didn't
the
say he should have
on
been player of the game.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, that. My apologies. Yeah, the only thing that I will say, because I assumed he was going to get love at some point on this show, and I'm going to make sure it happens right now at least. That may be the most important or the most impact I've ever seen a punter have on a football shout out to Michael Dixon, because the fact that I went on NFL.com to vote for the Super Bowl MVP and he wasn't even a friggin' option. They had Jason Myers, but they didn't even have Michael Dixon. I thought that was fraudulent because
How many times did he pin them inside the 10? It was like 6 times.
multiple times. Well, I mean, multiples underselling it. But every time they punted it off, like I have never had that much fun watching somebody punt a football. But every time I was looking, I was like, did they get that inside the 10 again?
Yeah.
And I was in awe. Like, again, the most interested and the most compelled to watch I've ever been with a special teams player. It was just absolutely nasty, and the fact that he didn't get more love in the post game awards, I'll say it again, it was absolutely freaking fraudulent.
Yeah, it wasn't even like it was inside. It wasn't like inside the 10. It was like inside the 5 even. I think like 3 times.
Guys, you can quote me on this. Quote me on this right now. I'm gonna say this right now. If I get a Hall of Fame vote, which I hope we all do one day, Michael Dixon will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, no question, on my ballot. That's how good he is. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame at the end of his career. I can say that with 100% certainty. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer when his career ends. That's how good he is.
I will try to watch Seattle games next year that Philly is not playing in just to watch Michael Dixon.
Exactly. He's special. All right, Shane, go on.
That's why I like watching Braden Mann for us, because he's good.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Of course, Shane. Please, thank you for doubling up on my. Well, you started, but to double up on my point that Michael Dixon will be a first ballot Hall of Famer, because he will, and if he's not, I will riot. Anyway,
I'll help you.
Shane, go on your whiteboard. I'm excited to listen to this.
Well, yeah, so the thing that makes Seattle so interesting defensively is the fact that they disguise like so much stuff. You know,
we've talked about this before. One of the biggest things we've done in your whiteboard segments is to talk about their disguises, because it's so fascinating. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, and on that, you know, usually it's like one or two guys that are disguised doing something. On the play that I'm doing the whiteboard segment on, which was the Uchenna Nwosu pick six, English.
Say that 3 times fast.
They disguised 5 things. Okay.
Oh my
Which
God.
is nuts. So, let's take a look at it. So New England, they're in just standard shotgun left open. Okay, because we got the Y on the left side, and then the running back is on the other side, so that means it's open, not closed. Shotgun duos left. My apologies. Shotgun duo left open. So this is 1st and 10. And Seattle, their DBs are in palms. They're outside, and the safeties. Which is... Palms is similar to quarters, except if the X and the Z get deep past the corners, they'll kind of switch off, and the corners will take more responsibility on the inside guys, and then the safeties will go man on the outside
Guy
receivers.
over top. Yeah.
Yeah. At least that's what it looked like to me. I mean, it's hard to tell.
It's hard to
But,
tell. That's what makes it so good.
Yeah. But so, as you can see here, they got 4 linemen, 2 linebackers, typical nickel package for them, because that's what they're always in. But, so, when you look at this, you're probably thinking, if you're Drake May, okay, most defenses, like Houston's defense, not to throw shade at Houston, but I mean,
They're really good. Houston was really good.
They're really good. They're really good. Their scheme, very vanilla, but they're super good. You're thinking, okay, the end is gonna apex rush around the edge here. Sam, linebacker, is probably gonna cover the tight end. Okay, yeah, that's typical. Mike, is probably going to hover around this inside area, a little hook curl zone, and then Nickel's going to be man on F, or something to that effect. What do they do instead? Well, the end, Boye Mafe, man coverage on the tight end.
That's already ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nobody, and by the way, this is a defensive end who is, 270 pounds and runs like a 4.4 40.
Yeah, he can
That
cover.
is psycho.
He can
Yeah.
cover. That not to say he can't
Yeah.
cover. That's just psychotic to do that in general. Put an end on the. It's
Right.
psychotic.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around 280 pounds and runs a 4.4.
Oh,
So, what happens though? So just that move alone right there. So left tackle is, their assignment. He's coming over to the left to block him, but realizes, oh, he's not there. So instead, the tackle, which is Jaron Reed, comes straight up, and so he's now one-on-one with him. And then the left guard was going to come over, slide to the left to get Reed. So now he's doubled up by these two guys. Nose tackle, which is Leonard Williams, was going to be doubled by center and right guard. So they slide over, but then he comes around the A gap on the other side. And so then that leaves Will, linebacker, to apex around the right tackle. But here's what they don't account for. So they do all this sliding over, thinking that these 4 are going to rush. Makes sense. So that leaves the B gap right here wide open for Ernest Jones, who collides right there with the running back, and Devin Witherspoon from the nickel to run through the B gap and make that fumble.
Oh
Or
my
no,
god!
Make the
get
get
pressure in. Yeah.
Yes. Which then is picked up by the Will, which is Uchenna Nwosu. So there's 2 guys going through one gap, which is how it's wide open. Because their alignment is all screwed up on this side. So you can see it. Drake May, for a second there, he's going to throw to the F because he looks like he's going to be open right about here. Okay. But what he doesn't realize, who's covering him? The Sam.
He moves
Holmes'
all the
ass-
way over there.
oh
Jesus.
God.
But do you know who the Sam is in this set? Nick Emanwari.
Oh my god!
So he hauls his ass over there.
By the way,
because
by
his
the way,
ass is
by the way,
hell.
by the way, an injured Nick Momari with an ankle doing that. It's insane.
That's crazy. It's not only is it just disguising a bunch of things and fooling the offensive line. It's literally playing players at a different position to to confuse the offense.
Yeah, he's in the he's in the box where a Sam linebacker would be, and they're probably assuming he's going to be man up on the Y
Yeah.
or maybe in the hook curl zone right in here. But no, he busts his ass all the way over there to Diggs because he was the F in that play and covers him
Yeah.
because he has the speed to cover it. So you could see it in the replay. May's about to throw it, but then he sees Imanori right about here, and he's like, "Oh shit, never mind." And then by the time he decides what he's going to do next,
And
here's
he's dead.
Devin Witherspoon. Hey, so
dead.
and then it's,
But you know what? But
then
again,
it's
you know
fixed.
what makes that? You know what makes that more impressive? Nick Omamori is playing on a freaking ankle sprain, so he's not as
Yeah.
fast as he normally is, and he's getting there.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And this is all it's going back to the trenches, offensive and defensive line. All this works because the end, they were fooled by the end, and the offensive line shifted their protection to cover him. So yeah. And that's
But when
and
you-
then
when
that
you-
allows
but when-
for this whole trickle of things.
That's
but
crazy.
anyways,
I
yeah.
apologize. I apologize for everything. But when you said who's there, it's Imanwari. I was like, ha ha, because you know he's gonna get there. It doesn't matter that he has an ankle sprain. He's fast enough.
Yeah.
That's
It's like,
insane.
So I mean, I guess
That,
I guess
that,
that was- yeah.
that sentence alone, it doesn't matter that he has a sprained ankle. That alone is psycho.
Yeah, that's psychotic.
But that's the thing about this defense. Not only is it schematically just brilliant, but I mean, they have so many guys that are just absolutely freak athletes.
Except Tariq Woolen, because he got burnt by Mac Hollins consistently.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
Oh
I've never been so annoyed by a player not on my favorite team.
Yeah, when you let Mac Hollins cook you, you know you're trash. Jesus.
And he was in the Rams game. He was talking crap to the sideline and got that penalty, and then got touchdown thrown over his head.
Well,
which
that's
he deserved
why,
that.
because I remembered him from that, and then now to do this shit.
The one thing, so the first thing, because watching a game with Shane is like watching a game with a savant. It's so crazy watching a game with him, because I'm blabbing on
Why?
about like broadcasting shit, and he's like, look at this, look at what they're doing here, look at this, because the first time I saw it, right, was they literally at one point in the first quarter rushed 8 guys at Drake May, and it worked.
Yeah,
I
I
was
saw
like, what the hell?
Yeah,
And it's crazy. Every single time, I knew Drake May was in trouble instantly when I just saw the DB start creeping to the line of scrimmage. I'm like, yeah, they're sending everything at Drake May because they can't stop it.
I have the play art from Engage 8 in my head right now from Madden.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I literally see like a bunch of DBs just start creeping to the line. I'm like, I'm like, this play's over already. I don't even have to watch the rest of it. I know the play's over. I know it's done.
But Shane, the reason why that play works is because they're all just crazy athletes. You can't run that in a normal defense. You get burned.
Yeah. Well, because and that's the thing. I mean, normally, because Seattle is, I mean, they're in that set a lot where they have 6 DBs, and they have Imanwari looking almost like a linebacker, and I mean, dude's what 6'3", 220, so he might
Yeah.
as well be, but You know, it's yeah, and it's just, and that's what's so insane. It's like he was so far away. Like, you never would have guessed that he would be gunning 20 yards across the field to cover, you know, your number one receiver.
Like, you know what's crazy? If you did that in Madden, that receiver's open 10 times out of 10 because there's no way in Madden you're going to get there quick enough for that.
Yeah.
That play does not exist in Madden. I bet
No.
you money. I mean,
Yeah, no,
you know.
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm saying like, you know, like people like sometimes will like it's too late to like flip the play to flip defensively or whatever. So you have one guy, like, it'll show you like the play art defensively, and the one guy has to go run across the field to cover at the snap.
Yeah.
He'll never get there
it's
in
like-
time.
He'll never get there. It's like, yeah, but in this case, in real life, he does.
Well, that's
Yeah.
But that's the thing that's crazy about this defense is the thing that I find with every whiteboard segment that we've done on the Seahawks defense, which I like that we started with offense and we kind of shifted to defense with two of our favorite teams, ironically, for different reasons, sadly. But anyway, I mean, it's true. Your OC was
It
the
is.
worst
It's just-
human in NFL history. Anyway,
Can we
so-
not? I don't ever need to hear about that guy again.
Yeah, welcome to the Sean Mannion and welcome to the Sean Mannion era, my friend. Anyway, so the thing that freaks me out about what they do defensively, Shane, is if you make one mistake, you're screwed. But they never make that one mistake. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they're very disciplined. Yeah.
yeah,
And I was, and you know, it's interesting because I was watching a video of Mike McDonald mic'd up at practice, and you know, there's like guys were not afraid to ask him questions, and I know that sounds dumb, but like there's a lot of teams at any level where kids are always, or guys, what you know, they're always like afraid to, because they, you know, they don't want to look dumb or get yelled at or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. I mean, that's a thing. You know, it should never have to be that way. But
Right.
anyways, but no, they were constantly, you know, asking him things, and he was just like, yeah, okay, so he, you know, and then he just explains the concept, and then he would always say, like, does that make sense? You know, and then like just making sure everybody was on the same page, knew what was going on, very detail oriented, you know, and that's why, like, I've noticed coming off of buys, or you know, when he has an extra week, they're always just even that more buttoned up because he's just, when you give a guy like him that much time to prep and plan, whatever, I mean, he's just so, you know, detail oriented about all that stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, but
And you can
any
even
case.
see, and this is what kind of excites me about the Raiders with Kubiak, and we're not going to get to that today. We'll get to that another time, because obviously this is not an off-season show. But even Kubiak kind of knew play-calling wise what to do against this defense. I just like what he does from a play-calling perspective, so that excites me as well. Anything else before we shift to the stupid commercials?
no, I just, you know, it was just cool.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
finally
really
getting revenge on the Patriots, and you know, because that's been like a dark cloud looming over Seattle, even darker than the ones that are already here. You know.
Yeah.
That makes two of us.
Yeah. And yeah, and especially after like that game was, in particular for me, has always been kind of a weird moment in my life, because you know that we had a bunch of family over watching that game, and the second that play happened, you know, my uncle, who is a massive Seahawks fan, like the biggest besides me in the family. Or not even, well, I guess just football fan in general.
Yeah.
And he was like, that interception happened, and he goes, "Well, that's game. Good night, everybody." And he and he left, and we're all pissed and whatever.
Well, see, like just like I mean, it took you guys a little bit longer, but you guys got your revenge the same way we got our revenge in Kansas City. So
yeah, for sure.
And and the thing is, like, sorry.
He's getting emotional.
We're getting a little choked up over here. I was a little bit yesterday too.
No, because I didn't realize it, but that night would be the last time I ever saw him.
Oh,
wow.
He passed away like a few weeks after that. I think you probably remember that, Robert.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that that game especially, like, for many reasons, that being one of them. It's like, wow, my last memory with him is this shitty experience of our shared love of this team having like their worst
in this
moment.
game. Yeah.
So it was special to me just as I was driving home last night, and I could see and hear fireworks going off and whatever, and I just I thought about him, and I was just like, finally did it, and that was a special feeling. But yeah,
I miss when the NFL does the walk up with the trophy, like the intro music by, I think it's David Robla or whatever his name is. I missed that. I missed that they did that. So I was like, the next time the Seahawks win a Super Bowl, I'm just gonna blast it on my TV speakers. I'm just gonna blast.
And you did.
That
It was like
minute.
volume 70.
Yeah, I blasted it. I blasted it, and I was like, that song makes me tear up because it's just such a beautiful. To me, it's always no matter who wins the Super Bowl, whether it's your Eagles, whether it's whoever it is, right? To me, that sound signals the end of an era every year. It signals the end of a season. It signals like, all right, we're moving forward. And it also just, for the team that wins, it signals kind of a bittersweet moment of that your season gets extended by 3 days because our parade's on Wednesday. Because if you win the Super Bowl, your off season is Thursday.
Yeah.
Because you got 3 days. So, and you guys experienced that. I remember watching the parade with you last year, Brandon. And when the parade ended, I said, "Hey, welcome to 2025, my friend. Welcome to the off season. You made it.
Yeah.
It took you three. It took you 3 extra days because you need to celebrate. But guess what? Welcome to the off season. And now I'm going to the parade on Wednesday. And when that ends, I go, yeah, welcome to 2026. Let's go.
You're gonna feel it. Yeah.
Yeah, welcome to 2026. Let's go. We have a few extra days. So, that's kind of special. And it's kind of cool to see that, last year with Philly, obviously, with you guys, and having that same feeling this year, bunch of...
Are you guys gonna throw a beer at your GM's head like
No, we're not. No, we're not. I was gonna go to the speeches, but you had to buy tickets to it, and I obviously wasn't gonna get tickets. You have to buy. It's at Lumen. It's the start of the parade. Is that presentation? But you have to buy tickets to get in there, and I think they're really expensive. And they're really expensive, and they're like, and it sold out in like 2 hours after the game. So I was like, screw that. So I am going to, I would argue, an even crazier spot. I'm going to see the Seahawks literally drive by the Space Needle, which is going to be beautiful to see.
That sounds remarkable.
That is going to be such
a, or like
spot. close, like literally like a few, maybe even a mile away, like basically right by the Space Needle. That is going to be such, no matter where I sit, even if I'm stuck in a crowd of people, that is going to be one of the most beautiful sights ever. That's such a great way to conclude the parade, and it's a lot better than last time. So That's going to be really special to see, and I'm very excited. I have to leave my house at 6:00 in the morning, so that's going to be exhausting. But whatever.
And then afterwards, after your season officially ends, we need to manifest, because we almost had it this year. Manifest Yankees Mariners for an ALCS or DS, whatever it is. We need it. We need that.
Oh yeah.
And we need an
That'd be-
Eagles
that'd
Seahawks
be great.
NFC title game, because doing a live
Oh, yeah.
show of that game will feed families.
Oh
we
yeah,
should've got
buddy.
it this year.
Hell yeah.
It'll destroy any hope that this podcast has for the rest of it.
And you know what?
not gonna-
You know what? And you know what? If it wasn't for your dumb coaching staff, it should have happened this year. So I'm kind of upset about that.
Yeah, it actually
Oh
should've.
my god. I genuinely thought once we fired his ass that was going to be the end of it. We talk about him more now after he was fired.
Because I wish it happened.
How insane that was! Like, you're running a JV high school. I can't even do this now.
It's
You're running
it's
a
like
JV high school.
well, no, it's like this. You know, when you look at historical figures, you talk about the worst ones a lot more than you talk about the good ones. You know, like I mean, dude, I mean, in history class, we talk a lot more about Stalin than we do about Jesus. Or, you know,
That's so
You're
true.
not wrong. I knew where I was
we
going.
talk a lot more about Genghis Khan than we do about, you know, Nelson Mandela.
Scoop can't even
you name it,
breathe.
like,
Scoop can't even breathe. He's so done.
Yeah, did you ever see that picture? Like the whole season's like starting in like week 4 after every Eagles loss. I hate to make an Eagles thing, but it's true. After every Eagles loss, I saw people in the comments putting like America's top 10 most dangerous people. He's at the top of it. Like
You
I
were one of the
don't-
first ones to call him a terrorist.
Why do you think? Why do you think every week I got more and more pissed? Because I'm like, I have to watch this for another week when they could just fire him halfway through the season. Just fire him.
Scoop can't even
Oh.
breathe anymore. He's done. Okay,
Oh,
let's
shit.
let's go on to something. Let's go on to something even worse than your former offensive coordinator, and I mean it. It's even worse. The
It is worse.
Manscaped commercial. The Manscaped commercial with the talking hair to open the Super Bowl. That was the first commercial. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
And
that's so gross.
You know what the worst part is? You're showing that commercial during a Super Bowl party when people are eating.
Yes, thank you. I was.
Yeah, everybody was starting to dig in, and we're like, this. We're like,
I'll wait for dessert, thanks.
Yeah, we'll just wait another hour to eat.
Brandon, you and I have, excuse my double speak. You and I have done marketing classes or something close to marketing. And I think Scoop probably has a little bit as well. I mean, you've done media
Dang
stuff.
right.
So I can't single you out. We've all done it. I cannot think of a worse way to market your product than talking hair.
Like, you can have like a celebrity endorsement with like a couple cameos, and then you're like showing off the razor or whatever. That's fine. No, you have to have the hair talk. Really?
It still wasn't the worst thing all evening.
No, no.
What
it
was
wasn't.
what was the worst commercial all evening?
The AI John?
For what company? What was it? For one of the
I don't
AI
know what the
ones?
company. The AI, the friggin' talking John.
I'm trying to remember which commercial this was.
I don't either.
John
We were all
who?
talking about it. No, John meaning the crapper.
Oh, the
Yeah,
the
toilet.
talking crapper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Oh my god. I mean,
Yeah, that's
that was
right.
bad.
I forgot about that.
I mean,
Ow!
isn't this like another year? Like
It's gonna haunt my nightmares.
those two were bad. Then there was like, using the Backstreet Boys song "Everybody" to sell crypto, to do something stupid. That I heard that, I was like, listen, I'm happy to sing along to this, but I remembered this commercial with a different song like last year or the year before. So I'm like, I know this is a crypto commercial. I know it is. I'm like, you're not gonna fool me again,
What?
damn it!
Wait,
You're not gonna do it again.
Wait, that was Crypto.com. That's the biggest crypto site in the world.
Coinbase. It's Coinbase.
That's what the
Coinbase.
LA Arena is after now, right?
Yeah,
And
Crypto.com
then,
Arena.
and then the
Yeah.
worst part is I've never seen so many commercials like regular like ones you would see on like a Tuesday night in like October. I've never seen so many regular commercials play during a Super Bowl too. And the thing is, they ran the same commercials. Like there was like a handful, and that they ran because they ran out of commercials for some reason.
Shane,
like-
Oh,
Shane,
I didn't catch that. I must have been mentally tuned out already.
Shane loved this because I was like, this is gonna sound so stupid, but one of my biggest concerns on Super Bowl Sunday is what time do I go to the John? What time do I go pee? I have no idea because I want to see the commercials. I want to watch I have no idea when to go pee. So it was so funny. I was drinking Coca-Cola and I was like, I've seen this commercial. Goodbye, Shane. I'm gonna go pee. I've seen this commercial. Goodbye. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back. Like, because
You went like 4 times.
I went like 4 times.
They showed a commercial.
Eventually I was like, geez, you get your prostate checked.
You know what crazy
No,
is,
I'm
like,
drinking Coca-Cola.
He's drinking Coca-Cola and his team's in the Super Bowl. I think he's got a pretty good explanation.
Like they're trying to sell you on like the upcoming season of The Voice. Why? It's the Super Bowl. Give me a real commercial.
Wait, no, wait. But you know why? Because it's NBC and it's their biggest show, and they're doing the
Why did I
Champions
see
thing.
it 4 or 5 times? Super Bowl. There's need 5 different commercials for that. Give me 1,
Anyway.
maybe 2, because you ran out the end of the night. That's it. So like, why?
And
the hell
you
did
know
I
what?
see
You
4
know,
or 5?
you know what pissed me off? They barely promoted the Olympics. Was right after. Did you guys see Mike Tirico on the field? He's sitting on the field doing it. It was amazing. Okay. I have okay, so I'm gonna be very careful about how I make this claim. I'm gonna be extremely cautious here. So
Okay.
I'm not gonna go too in depth on it, but this is not the time or the place for it. But guys, that halftime show was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. That was the worst halftime show in the history of the Super Bowl. That was terrible. And I love Bad Bunny. I love his music. I love what he represents. I love Puerto Rican culture. I thought what he did with the Puerto Rican culture was actually awesome. I love it. But this halftime show was terrible. It was bad. And let me explain why it was bad. It was bad because, so really quick, the NFL and the NFLPA have all those signs of like, choose love. It takes all of us. That is a political statement, but it's subtle. I only see it behind people's helmets. I only see it on, the lettering. It's nice, it's meaningful, and it's subtle. I like that it's there. I think it adds a lot to the game. I like seeing different branding everywhere or different messaging. I like that because it's subtle. It's not in your face ever. This halftime show was politics in your face, right in your face. I'm watching the Super Bowl. I don't want to think about politics one bit other than those subtle messaging. It's ridiculous. This is the problem. Wait, before you go, Rand.
Yeah.
Rock Nation, Jay-Z's company is doing the Super Bowl halftime. And every year, other than the first or second year that they've done this, even Kendrick did this because I think they just started it with Rock Nation a few years ago. All of these halftime shows are so damn political.
Well,
Get their messaging
wasn't
wrong.
that bad.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't the whole
Can I ask a question? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go.
No,
Let me ask you a question. I think a decent amount of people with all this stuff's heart is in the right place.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
But who the hell is watching the Super Bowl and is going to have their mentality changed by either a halftime show or a sign on the side of the freaking wall? I'm sorry.
You know who it is? You know what that halftime... You know why I'm upset about this halftime show more than anything? The entire halftime show was a direct message to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is one human. There are billions of people watching this. You
Yeah.
don't need this. You don't
No.
need this. Our hearts, as you said, Scoop, our heart is in the right place about all of this, and we're not going to go in depth on it because this is not the time or the place.
No.
But it's not necessary in a Super Bowl. It's not necessary. We're watching football. Football is an escape from this stuff, man.
You know what
I'll say-
that was the show of last night? Like, and don't
Grandstanding?
well, I was gonna say virtue signaling.
Yeah, same shit.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what that was. But it's like, and this is somebody that listen. I don't hate the culture. Obviously, as somebody who is part Puerto Rican, I can never hate it. But
The first
it's
half
like-
of the show. Wait, sorry to interrupt, Brandon. The first half of the first part of the show with the culture was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was so cool. And then he's like, "Oh, and then it turned. Then right after the first 5 minutes of here's the culture. Oh yeah, let's have people have an actual wedding in the middle of this show. No, that's so unnecessary.
That's
I-
a little weird.
I'll say this. I thought it was cute, but it was also bizarre.
I didn't think it was real at first.
It was real.
Yeah, I didn't know it was at first. I had no idea. I was like, oh, this is just for the performance because they kissed and then ran off. I was like, that's weird. And like come to find out, like 3 hours later, oh, that was real. I was like, I didn't fool me.
Oh my God.
I'll say that-
Yeah, go, Scoop, go.
No, I was just gonna say, it's just like, and then you had people talking about that younger gentleman who, did you see the discourse today in the media about that?
I don't even want to think about it. I didn't even
Yeah,
look it up because I didn't want to think about it.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, if you go look it up, it's a perfect microcosm for how screwed up everything is.
I will say this. I have a big problem with how Brandon, do you have anything else before I let Shane go really quick before I say this?
Well, it depends how much longer we got for this segment.
I only have
Uh,
one thing to say.
No, we have time because this is like the last thing
Yeah.
I have to say as well.
Well, because I mean, like, I put it this way. I don't think it was the worst one ever. But I hate when there's so many people who just because they love his music, oh, it's the best ever. Like everybody says that with their favorite
I
artist.
was just gonna say that.
Like it's not the amount of people I saw saying it's the best ever. I'm like, so go back and watch Michael Jackson. Go back and watch Prince. Like there's quite a few others that are far better than this one.
I wish we had anybody like Michael Jackson in this day and age.
And it's like, and it's
Yeah, who would do
like,
this?
you know, like-
Who would do this halftime?
and-
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
that's what I meant. Yeah.
there's somebody that like, you know, enjoys the music, you know, that was raised on it. Obviously, you know, my dad being half Puerto Rican, like hearing it in the car, my mom growing up, you know, around Puerto Rican people her whole life and you know, literally being around that culture for a long time. Like, you know, I grew up with a lot of, you know, Puerto Rican, Dominican people and Spanish music, and my stepsister is Puerto Rican. Like,
Oh wow.
you know, I grew up with this stuff. Like I grew up listening to Daddy Yankee, Don Omar, guys like that. Like,
Nice.
like old school reggaeton music, like that.
Yes.
That's what I grew up with. So I'm like, when I tell people that like I don't like Bad Bunny, they're like, oh, you're like, oh, what are you like? The worst part is like, oh, what are you like? They immediately think you're racist. I'm like, it's
Yep.
not race.
Yeah, I hate that.
I'm like
Culture.
If I explain to you
It's
my
just
family
culture.
tree, I'm more like it's about just what you like and don't like. I just don't care for his brand of that genre. I like a lot of other artists. When I heard Gasolina come on, I was like, oh, is Daddy Yankee coming out?
Yep, that's exactly what I
Yeah.
thought.
Because I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be sick.
Here, I'll be right back. I need to get my charger.
And then seeing Ricky Martin was cool. I loved seeing Ricky Martin. That was really cool. Like, I'm just not a Bad Bunny fan. I never wa I like his early stuff, but I like
Again,
but like I'm
it's fine to not be. It's fine to be a fan. I love the culture stuff. I love his music. I don't listen to it as much
Yeah.
as I should. But it's fine if you're not a fan of his music. Who cares if you're?
Yeah,
Why does
people-
it matter,
people-
bro?
so many people really like dove headfirst into this and was like, oh, like if you don't like it, you're a racist and you hate immigrants. It's like, no, I just don't like the music. There's a big difference there.
That's not what I'm. That's not my point for saying I hate this halftime show. I just hate the message.
yeah.
The message is important, but the placement is also important.
It just
terrible
felt forced.
placement.
It was so forced. Like that's
Yeah.
like I put it this way. I thought it was better than what I expected. I will say that. Like I'm on the other side where I'm like, I'm not gonna say it's the best ever. I'm not gonna say it's the worst ever. I'm a little bit past the middle where I'm like, it's better than what I expected. Put it that way. So I still like it. But
And also, go continue. Sorry.
no, but it's like, you know, when I like because I didn't expect a lot, and there were some cool things that happened during it, like some like the whole setup of it was really cool, walking through different kinds of things. It looked like Puerto Rico and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that was
But-
awesome. That was awesome. That was amazing.
But it's like, you know, and then of course seeing Cardi B in the background, you know, Pedro Pascal, even seeing Jazz Chisholm back there.
I forgot that Jazz was back there until
Jazz
later.
was
Yeah,
there.
I saw Cardi.
And so I like to see, you know, different things, but it's like I get it, you know, like, and you've had like a lot of like it's not the first time it's happened, but there's been political statements here and there throughout a halftime show, but it's like one little moment of a whole halftime show. It's not the whole show.
No, it's not
like-
the whole show. And this was
like-
this was 99.9% of the whole show.
Like you know, there was cool segments like everybody like dancing and him standing on top of a car or the roof or whatever, and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, that stuff is cool. Like it's different. I like the look of this. It's all
Really quick. My mom mentioned, why does every halftime show someone has to be on the roof of something? I'm so
Yeah, I
that's
don't-
a good point.
Yeah, I don't know why. Especially for fans that are like, you know, sitting in like the lower levels of the bowl, they really can't see it that well because they're not up high enough. So it's
Yeah.
like it's kind of weird.
What did I
But-
miss, fellas?
Nothing. I'm still just going.
We're going.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about the halftime show. We're good.
But it's like, you know, but it's
Oh,
like,
I have nothing else to say on that.
and it's like I like it. Like, you know, everybody's like, oh, well, if you don't like it, then go listen to the alternative one. The alternative one sucks too. I'm not a country
The
fan. I think
alternative-
country music
the
is shit.
alternative-
Sorry, Scoop. But I
No,
like
it's
it.
fine. I love country music, but I'm not a Brantley Gilbert fan.
You know, like, you know,
The alternative one as political. This is a general problem with both halftime shows.
Yeah,
This is the Super Bowl.
it's
Just
too
do
Yeah.
music.
I'm
music.
a former member of the organization that put on the other one, and it's an absolute freaking. It was so cringy to me.
like it's
Yeah,
like
I just
you have-
stop, man.
like an alternative one. That's like whoever thought that was a good idea, because now you just painted yourself in an even worse light. Like you just went even more radical right. And it's like,
Yeah.
But now it's like with this halftime show, now we're going too far in the other direction. So it's like, I don't care. Like, I hate when people are like, oh, well, if you don't care about politics, then you don't care about human life and all this stuff. I'm like, no, I want to watch sport. I want to just
I want to
Yeah.
watch football.
and
Speaking
I'm watching.
Speaking of which,
guys.
maybe at some maybe we should get the conversation back to sports at some point soon.
Right, no,
Well, yeah, but
but again, it ties in. That's why this is important. But
Yeah.
guys, this is what we're trying to say, and this is the message that needs to be emphasized about this halftime show. And again, I said at the beginning, I like the lettering. It's subtle. It's good. I think that's great for the NFL. Subtle stuff like that is awesome. It's fantastic. I like it. I think it's cool. It's like I like it. But it's subtle. Stop making the halftime show not about music. That, to me, annoys me. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be rap. It could be country. It could be EDM. Even if you don't like the genre of music. Or it could be Spanish music. Whatever. It doesn't matter. The halftime show is about the artist and the music. Get back to that, please. That's my issue.
like,
That's
it's-
my problem.
Like, and you know what it is too is like, it's like, you know, I know people have such strong opinions. I mean, everybody does, especially in 2026. Everybody likes to voice their opinion too, even on the internet and whatever. And it's like, you know, I just don't like people that think one way or the other. Like, oh, if you like it, if you really liked it, then oh, you're this way, and if you really hated it, you're this way. It's like, no, you can really like it just from a music standpoint. You can really hate it just from a music standpoint, or you can hate it because of the message. Not everybody has to think the way that you do, and it's like
that. But really quick, can I tie that into my last point because I think it's important, right? Is that okay? My biggest issue with the halftime show since social media has gotten bigger and bigger is everybody has, like I said, this is the worst halftime show. Everyone loves the Lady Gaga one. I thought the Lady Gaga one was okay until I thought it wasn't because here's the thing: we on this show with football very much are like we're going to analyze football, right? And what I expect from you guys when it comes to talking about the Super Bowl is that you guys put that same energy that we do with football into the commercials, the halftime, and the whatever else we're going to talk about outside of the Super Bowl. I want that same energy on this show, and that's what we pride ourselves on, is give me that same energy every time. But people don't view it that way on social media. And by the way, if you are of Puerto Rican descent, as Brandon says, you should be proud that you have Bad Bunny doing the show. That is amazing. That is a huge barrier that has been broken. If you want to go and celebrate that, which I saw many people do on social media, I'm celebrating that as well, even though I didn't think it was that great. Yes, please do. Yeah. It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Yeah, like you know, I mean to cut you off, Rob, but no,
please.
And it was cool, like seeing all the flags come out, like the U.S. flag and all the Spanish countries and the Hispanic countries and the flags coming out. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like there were things I liked about it a lot, and especially as someone that grew up, like I said, that grew up around the culture. It's like, of course, I grew up in a white neighborhood. But I have friends who are Hispanic. I have friends who are friends with all of us here. We have friends who live in Kearney. Kearney is predominantly a Hispanic community at this point. It's changed over the years, but it's predominantly Hispanic now. Like, we know so many kids like that. Like I said, even for us, like, it's, my last name might be Portuguese, but at the same time, I'm close to all my roots, and that includes the Puerto Rican side. So, because hell, like I said, I would spend weekends with my I mean, this is going way off topic, but just real quick, I would spend weekends with my dad. Like I said, my dad was half Puerto Rican, but his girlfriend at the time, full Puerto Rican. I call her my stepmom. I talk to her every once in a while. She was with my stepsister, and they were watching the Super Bowl last night. And I was texting them, and I was like, this is, I said to them, I was like, hey, this is actually this is a lot better than I expected. Like, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this halftime. So I don't hate it. It's just that for me, I don't care what side you lean on, and I know that people keep saying, "Oh, well, there's politics in sports and there's politics in music." And it's like there always was to a little degree, but you understood that at the end of the day, it's sports, it's music, it's still somewhat separate. Like now, it's just everybody feels the need to cram a lot of political stuff into the thing. Like I'm like, I don't want to be. I'm like, if I want, and I've said this before on this pod with you guys, I've said if I want politics, I will watch Fox, I will watch CNN, I will watch MSNBC, I'll watch something like that. When I am turning on the Super Bowl, I want sports, I want football, I want funny commercials, and I want good music. And it's like I don't want anything else. And I'm like, you want to, like I've always said, like what we're saying, the Super Bowl to me is just, I know that a lot of people watch it across the world, so I get that technically it's a big platform, so artists might use that to promote certain things, but it's like I just don't want the show to give off the vibe that it's more than a spectacular halftime show. Like
it's more than a spectacular musical concert. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Anyway.
That's what it's supposed to be. Like exactly. I went to shows. Like I went to Roger Waters, and for those that know, that's one of the longest. That's the oldest surviving member of Pink Floyd at this point. I went to one of his shows when he played a lot of Pink Floyd songs, which some of them have some hidden political messages, but it's not like in your face. But when he played Pink Floyd songs, everybody went nuts. When he played his own solo stuff that had more like overt political messaging, and when he kind of went a little bit, this was 2016, so this was right at the start of Donald Trump.
Oh boy!
Presidency, yeah, exactly. So and there was droves of people that walked out, and this is New Jersey. This is a blue state. There was people that walked out like completely, just said nope. The second they heard him starting to talk about that for a half hour, done. They all left. So I'm like, it's like
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're blue or red, whatever. It doesn't matter. We want music.
Someone's audio is really chippy right now.
Is it me?
I think it might be.
Oh my god, really? I'll be right back.
yeah.
Lol.
But in the end, like while we wait for Rob to come back, it's like I don't want anybody to take what we say the wrong way. And like I said, we were giving reasons as to why we don't want anybody to take what we say the wrong way. But it's like and people will, but you can't please everybody.
Right.
So it's like we don't try to. It's either you like what we say or you don't. It's plain.
Right.
But I don't like people virtue signaling. I don't like people posturing, for things. I'm like, no. I'm like, you like. I was taught from an early age, if you say something, say it with your chest, or don't say it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if I'm gonna say that I didn't like it or that I liked it or whatever opinion you have on it, stand by it. But don't just write people off for saying, oh well, if you do like it, you're a crazy, far left or whatever you are. And if you didn't like it, oh, you must be a racist, far right, bigot. It's like that's not what this is. It's like you got to think and we talk about thinking more outside the box, using your brain more these days, but people seem to not be doing that as often anymore. It's just like, comes to this event, this should be a happy time. Not like it's crazy how the halftime show, almost because of how divided everything is, it's crazy that the halftime show almost, and I get like that's a battle, whatever it is, but the halftime show should not override the game.
It absolutely felt like it was. I put my phone down for the whole period, that whole period of time, because everything on social, what's the word, on on social media was either one, was either about the Bad Bunny one or was about the quote unquote alternate one, and it was about but it was never just like I'm watching this, you know what I mean? It was I'm watching this with a passive aggressive little comment, and I was just like, can we get three, like, and remember Rob, we talked last week about about things that we liked and don't like about Super Bowl and whatnot, and how we talked about people. There's not enough people who watch the game just to actually appreciate football.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what I feel like some people were on last night. I think that there was, I just wanted to enjoy that experience. And, unfortunately, there were people, and again, I'll say this. I'm not just talking to one group of people here. I am talking to I'm talking about people from all corners. It was just like it felt like people were in a contest to be the most obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, can you guys still hear me? Okay, because I had to reset everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you better now.
You're good.
Good. Okay. So, but yeah, no, Scoop. That needs to be fixed for the Super Bowl, because that's my problem. And again, some of it is the Super Bowl is a holiday, everyone watches it, whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like over the last, well, at least for my life, especially, well, ever since we started this podcast, ever since Shane and I have started podcasting since 2019, every time we talk about everything else around the Super Bowl, we get upset. Because we're like, we just want to talk about football, as Brandon said, football, music, commercials, done. Why can't we get back to that? That's what matters. Anyway, Shane, made you watch the halftime show because you were next to me, and I was like, "We're gonna watch this." You don't watch the halftime show normally. This was your first one. What do you think? Also, by the way, Bad Bunny did not need human trees, people standing as humans. He did not
What
need
was that?
He did not need that at all. He just had.
What
and he
was
just had
that?
regular trees.
One of them did the 6-7 thing. I was like, oh
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh Lord!
All right.
I will say it was cool. It was cool to see Jazz Chisholm Jr. there, even though it drives me, even though he drives me nuts.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. So, Shane, for your first halftime show experience, me blabbing about how much I hated it the whole time, because I did, what did you think about it?
Well, I mean, I thought, I speak. I'm pretty. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm fluent, but I'm definitely, conversational in Spanish.
Yeah.
So I kind of I got the gist of what they were trying to do, but I couldn't help but sit there and think, there's definitely a message here directed at somebody and a particular group of people. And knowing what I know about this person and his fans, not many of them speak Spanish. So, I was kind of like, okay.
This isn't really landing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And that's not a shot at him or the message they were trying to put out there. It's, that's fine. But yeah, I don't know. And, and I could very well see, how some of it, like if you don't know about his hometown or what, it's like how it could be confusing. Like for instance, the telephone poles. I was like, what is this? Turns out it's a comment on their horrible electrical grid there. So, well, like I didn't know about that, so it's stuff like that. But yeah, no, I mean, that was the first time I'd ever heard any Bad Bunny music, at least that I know of. And
yeah, I don't play Bad Bunny for you, even though I like him. He's not.
Also, real quick before Shane continues, I understand people saying they don't listen to his music, but if you're genuinely saying you don't know who he is, you live under a rock.
You must live under a freaking rock.
You have to.
Shane, do you know
who he is?
You know who he is?
I knew about him after it was announced he was doing the halftime show.
See, he didn't.
I didn't. When he was announced, I was like, Bad Bunny. I mean, like I had heard of him, but I didn't. Like I knew nothing about him.
But at least you've heard. Like there's people there's people like, oh, I've never heard of this guy before. I don't even know what he looks like. I'm like, what planet do you live on?
I mean, I didn't know what he looked like either, but I was familiar with his existence on this planet.
At least that, yeah. But I'm like,
Here's the thing. I'm just gonna be straight. He showed his Grammy, which I thought was really funny.
That
He
was
was the biggest artist this year, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Like he was. So it's like, and that's also part of why I don't really like it. It's like, dude, everyone listens to his music, or at least knows of his music. You don't need to, whatever. Regardless. Yes, okay, we did get a little bit political, but how are we not supposed to when they make us sit there for 15 minutes and that's all the halftime show is?
Yeah,
What are we
exactly.
supposed to do?
It's like if you're gonna put it in the show that we're gonna react to, then it's gonna come up in our reaction.
And that's the main. Oh, there goes Rob again.
Oh, for crying out loud with this guy.
What I was gonna say was, and we're gonna get Rob back. There we go. We're gonna get you back at some point. There you are.
Dear
What I was
Lord.
gonna say was, it like, and once again, we want to make it very clear. It doesn't matter what side you fall on, whether you agree with the messaging or not, and we're not telling you to pick a side or what we believe in, because everybody's like, nothing is black and white. So like, if we say we don't like it, don't assume that we're that one way, and if we say that we like it, don't assume that we're the other. Like,
Yeah, there was plenty of that going around last night.
Because there's gray area and everything. Like, for people.
Oh, nuance is dead.
like that's why I hate when people are like, oh, you must pick a side or you must be this all the way to a T or this. Oh no, it's not. What we're saying is that when you have just a halftime show, like the messaging can be great and everything. Like even if it's something that I don't support or that I do support, I'm just saying in general for someone like me, I don't want politics in the stuff I'm trying to enjoy because
Same way I wouldn't turn on the news to hear what the Red Sox did last night.
it's like
Exactly.
it's like and
Why'd I pick them of all teams?
Anyway,
yeah.
regardless.
But that's what it is. Like that's what we're trying to say. It's like it doesn't matter if you support it or not. It's like we as just football fans, we just don't want to see that in a Super Bowl. Like it's fine if you support it on social media. It's fine if you do it but to me, like when it comes to things that I enjoy, I don't like stuff being crammed down my throat and shoved in my face. So it's like, and that goes for both sides. Like both sides of the aisle. There's things I don't like from one side, there's things I don't like from the other. And I see it all the damn time. I'm like, my God, get me out of here. I don't want this. Like you were taught growing up, right? What's the 3 things you don't talk about? Money, politics, religion. So why the hell does everybody feel the need to talk about it ad nauseum these days? You don't talk about it. You might talk about that stuff in private.
Did you guys see what I put on my Facebook earlier today?
Yeah.
No.
It goes very well with this. It basically was a graphic of I think it was Buzz Lightyear. Was that who it was? Buzz Lightyear. And it basically said people are not interested in your opinion; they're interested in their opinion coming out of your mouth.
Yep.
That's 100% true. Yeah.
Yep.
But again, like, is the Super Bowl? Is the Super Bowl the place for all of this? No, it's not.
No.
That's it. It's not. Anyway, let's go on.
You know how many? There's one last thing. You know how many people's minds are going to be changed because they see him holding a football, saying "Together we are America."
That was my point earlier. Like exactly what do you think you are accomplishing? You're basically doing this to be able to say we did this. You're like it's. And
that's it.
And quite honestly, I don't really see what you accomplish by doing that. And I'll add this, and this is literally going to take me 5 seconds. I don't think it helped that this was right on the heels or the hoofs of the Grammys. I don't think that helped at all.
Oh, I don't think it helped either. Okay, let's move on to something more fun to finish off the night.
Thank God.
We are going to skip the music and do it for our Combine show because it's super long. It's a super long show. We have more time. We were going to do this last week, but again, our schedules have kind of shifted with a lot of our post-credits things this past week. So for Pro Bowl / Super Bowl week, because Pro Bowl was this week, we always like to do a movie that doesn't count towards our rankings of the movies that we do in general. It doesn't count because it's supposed to be different. So keep in mind, this won't count in our end-of-year rankings at all. But we like to do a movie, and we started this last year. We like to do a movie that's so bad, but it's also so good. And the movie that we did this year, per Shane's request, is Sharknado 1 from 2013. All right, Shane, lead us off with Sharknado.
Oh man, I remember. I remember. When this came out, and my dad and I were driving over to our cabin in the eastern part of the state. It was in the summer.
That's fun.
And it was a good time. It was, what was this, 2010, 11?
I don't know, I wasn't there.
Whenever this movie came out,
it was 13.
Whatever
it was 13.
Oh, 13. Oh god. Okay.
I'll
anyway.
double check. It was 13.
So, anyways, we're driving in the car over there, and we're in the desert, and we were long far away from any civilization, out there in the dirt, and so the only thing that was working on the satellite radio, or was satellite radio, so we were listening to Howard Stern, because that's, every 13-year-old should listen to Howard Stern. And he
No,
was
you
interviewing-
should not.
No, and he was interviewing Ian Ziering, or is that his name? Yeah,
Ziering,
the
yeah.
main actor in this movie. And he's like, "So you were in Sharknado?" And then they were talking about it, and we were like, "What? We got to see this movie. This sounds so dumb." So we get there, and then the girls get there, a couple hours after us. They had to go do something else, anyways. So we're telling them about this. And that night, we watched the movie. We find it on TV. And
Yeah, because it was on Sci-Fi at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
and my life was changed for the better, let me tell you. So it's, first of all, this movie is truly the definition of so bad it's good, and there's a few reasons why. First of all, it fully commits to the bit.
Yep.
Like it, it does not pretend to be smart or subtle or grounded or whatever. Like, the premise is dumb, and they know it. Okay, and the execution is even more stupid. The self-awareness is just, it's there. All right. And just, there's just so many, there's no holding back. It's like flying sharks, guy holding up his chainsaw in the air, the very heroic slow motion shots, sharks exploding. I mean, just it's like anything you could think of. It's
That
like,
big ass pool of blood by the staircase.
And Ian Ziering and Tara Reid, the two leads, they don't, they play it straight enough that the insanity is there. If they leaned into the cheese too much, it would be it wouldn't feel as dumb.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
No. And it's just the viewing experience was just fun because we were all just yelling at the screen, what, and just, some of the CGI, it's
it wouldn't even pass for 2013 standards, let alone now.
There was better CGI in Shark Boy and Lava Girl,
Oh my god! Way to unlock memories there.
I'm Brandon. This has better CGI than The Flash.
Oh my god, don't mention that. Don't mention don't mention that. Jesus.
But yeah, no, and there's that one part where the shark is flies directly above him, and he just puts his chainsaw up in the air and cuts the thing in half, and and we just audibly laughed when that happened. So it's, yeah. And then we were over there for, I don't know, probably 10 days. And we were on a river, so it was we could go in the boat and just go to all our friends' places over there, just kind of in a row. So we'd go to every one of them. We're like, "Have you seen Sharknado?" And then we were telling them all about it. And then go to the next one. "Have you seen Sharknado?" And then, yes, we did. And then we're like, "Oh my god!" And then so it was just so fun.
Yeah.
What I was not expecting is that they were going to make 5 sequels.
Yeah, there was 6
When
movies.
you told me that, I was like, "This movie is supposed to be bad," and they managed to make 5 follows up to it.
Because the second one did just as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
why?
Shane, I apologize if I interrupted you. Are you done? Because I desperately need to go next. 'Cause I
No, I mean, I was
figured
just gonna say like the only thing that's for me that's bad, like in an actual bad way, is that it's like once you've seen it once, it's, and I just realized this because truthfully, I just watched it for my second time over the weekend. I hadn't seen it ever since 2013. But when you watch it for a second time, it's like it's a lot more boring because it's not like it's not like The Room. You guys ever seen that?
yes.
Where that's like,
Wait, Scoop. Have you seen The Room?
No.
Okay, we're
my
adding that
God.
to the list for the offseason.
I just listed. We just talked about 3 things that I had seen. Of course, now this is the one that we get stuck on.
I did not hit
No.
her.
Wait, Scoop. I'm
What's
adding
wrong?
this to
You're
our
not
off-season
her.
list, and I'm making you watch it. Anyway, Shane, continue.
For crying out loud.
but well, yeah, I know because The Room is like, like there's layers to just the weird stuff going on in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like you can watch it a few times and it's still good, but like this
Yeah.
is very surface level of just stupidity. So like you kind of notice everything in the first watch through, and then as I was sitting there watching it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that being dumb. Oh, I remember that being stupid as well. I was like, oh, okay, well this is just depressing. But anyways, yeah, go ahead, Robert.
Okay, I need to go because I realized something and it pissed me off. So number one is I watched the first 5 minutes of this movie. I have a lot to say. So I watched the first 5 minutes of the movie and I was like, this movie is so bad and I have other things to do. I have to go do laundry. I have to talk to my dad about whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I know the plot of this movie already. I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave this running with all the crazy audio. And then I'm gonna come back downstairs and see where I'm at. So I come back. So I'm like, because I know the plot. And I'll explain how I knew the plot already. But I was like, okay, let's do that. So I go upstairs. I go do laundry. I talk to my dad. I walk back and I see Beverly Hills, and they're driving in a car in knee deep water in Beverly Hills. I'm like, what is happening here? What did I just walk back to? And then. So I kept it running. Also, this movie on a 4K television is a must-see experience. It is.
Oh, that must have been fire.
Oh my god. This and Peacock. I watched it on Peacock. Peacock has a giant problem with yellow color saturation on my TV for some reason. I have no idea why their color, and it's not my TV because I play video games on it. I watch the Super Bowl with Shane. There's no color saturation issues on my TV. But Peacock, for some reason, the yellow just pops. It's like golden yellow. But the problem with this is, go Brandon, go.
I was just gonna say, just because I had a stupid thought, that it's fitting. It's really fitting that a place like Peacock loves urine yellow.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too when I watched it. Yeah, so I watched this on Peacock, right?
I'm tired.
That's exactly what I was thinking. But okay, so there's movies, right? Any movie, no matter if it's bad or really good, it needs to be properly upconverted to every format. Because if you don't do that, the movie looks like crap. I'm watching this on a top-end 4K television with high dynamic range, and the entire color saturation is broken. The whole thing looks, I'm not gonna lie, the entire thing, every scene, even people's skin, looks like urine. Everything looks like urine. This entire movie on a 4K
All right, there,
TV.
Coldplay. All right, there, Coldplay. Yeah, it really was all yellow.
You know what's really funny too. This is random, but you know how much Ian Ziering, the lead actor, was paid to be in this movie?
Oh,
What?
How much?
$11,340, which
That's
is
so specific.
nothing. Well, it's because it was he was paid $630 a day, and it was only an 18-day shoot.
That's amazing. That's nothing.
How the hell do you shoot a movie like that in 18 days? No wonder it's crap. Like,
Do you guys know? Do you? Okay, guys. This is my biggest issue with this movie, and I don't think you realize. How many of you here have watched the movie 2012?
oh god.
I've seen like part of it.
Yeah.
This entire movie is this entire movie is the exact same plot as 2012. It's the same movie. I'm not joking. It is the exact same movie, just made a year later. They just took 2012 and said,
Yeah.
there you go.
True.
That's why I left, because I was like, this entire movie is just 2012, but with a worse budget. And you know what? The thing about Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin's disaster movies is they're really bad. But they're also kind of entertaining because it's the same plot every time. It's bigger budgets. I just wish they gave this movie to him, because he would have done such a way better job with this movie. Also, the last thing I gotta say. So, Nova, that woman Nova, Cassandra Serbo and Ian Ziering, they're dating, right? They're dating, right? In this movie? Is that yeah.
It's implied.
It's implied. Nova has a better chemistry with his son in two scenes than he does with Ian in the entire movie.
Yeah.
So I thought they should be together, and I guess that's implied that they get together, which is also kind of creepy, but it's fine. Anyway, so that's why I wanted to say is that this entire movie that's why I left 5 minutes. I was like, I'm just going to leave this running because I know this entire movie is just 2012, and I've seen 2012. So I was like, I don't care. I'm going to walk away, and I'm going to do other stuff, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to know exactly what happens because I watched 2012. I've watched every single disaster movie other than Independence Day that Roland Emmerich has done. I know this story. Anyway, Scoop, I want to know your experience on this because you texted in the chat, and I quote, "My cat ran away because she got scared when I started this." Pringles ran away when you started this movie. So tell me your experience.
Well, I'll add some context to that. So she had been on my leg, or like bunched up against my leg, like holding my leg asleep for a while. So like she was in like a dead nap, but I also knew if I didn't watch it then I was not going to watch it in time for the show. So I went on the Tubi toothpaste, and then I went on to
Tubi.
Yeah, went on just to make sure that I had all the settings on, I had closed captions on, yada yada yada. And then launched the movie, and I see, okay, it's about 90 minutes long. I was like, all right, cool, that's manageable. And then, to my major surprise, the lead-in to the very first scene of Sharknado was a freaking shark and a tornado.
That's the literal title of the movie. It's just immediate.
Yeah. So talk about being, very on the nose, and probably the most on the nose title film I've ever seen in my life. And then the two guys are talking from the surf or whatever. I got really confused immediately because they talked about seeing the Nationals in 2004. The Nationals didn't move from Montreal until 2005.
Oh my god, that's an amazing pull! That's an amazing pull! Oh my god, that's an amazing pull!
Yeah, I didn't catch
So I got really confused there. So I mean, and that's the point at which I messaged you guys. This movie's rife with historical inaccuracy.
Unless that was intended to be the joke. Like,
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know because at the time I didn't realize how just deliberately detached from reality this movie was, even for the movie that it is. So I couldn't tell what was intended and what wasn't by that point. Fast forward a little bit, and you got a guy trying to take down something that's trying to kill him with a Louisville Slugger, which unless you're Aaron Judge or 2001 Barry Bonds, I don't see that happening for you.
Especially
Yeah, that's my point. And then we got into this really confusing scene in the staircase where this guy that I thought was Reed Ewing, but apparently wasn't, was like on the staircase. And I was trying to figure out, because people were talking about this is this person's dad, this is this person's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, and some guy apparently is in, the guy thought his son was in Tampa visiting his friends. I don't know what the hell that was about.
Yeah, that was weird.
So I was getting super confused as to who was whom and whatever. And then all of a sudden, this pool of blood is just filling up the house. But this guy says, "No, I'm going to go to wherever to meet these people." I'm like, "You're going to go frickin' where when you can't even get down the stairs without almost drowning?"
In pool of blood.
Which was remarkably convincing of a pool of blood, I should say.
By the way, you know what they use for blood in movies, or one of the things they use for blood in movies, and I think
Kool-Aid?
they use it in this cranberry juice.
The cranberry juice again.
And corn syrup with with food coloring, if it's not going on somebody.
Yeah.
Corn syrup and food coloring, the two most American things imaginable. But but no, I just got to a point where about halfway through the film, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to take away from this. I don't know what I'm supposed to think, feel. I mean, I don't think feel was an important part of this movie at all. But all I heard at the end of the film was that little voice from YouTube 15 years ago that went, "I just wasted 10 seconds of your life."
You wasted 90. We made you waste 90 minutes of your life.
But I'll put it this way. I thank God that we're going to be talking about the show afterward, because I literally would have been like, what did I just do that for? So I'm just glad that it was at least to have a conversation about it later today. And I obviously from this show, I've seen more movies because of this show than I ever have in my life, probably. And
More to come, baby.
Yep. Come at me. But I just, It was just one bizarre thing after another, and I kept texting in the group chat, but then I just deleted everything. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to save these takes for the show itself, because if I say it for the first time and then say it again later, it's not going to have the same interest. But I was just like, I understood what you meant by a good movie that was bad, or a bad movie that was good, or however you phrased it. But once again, at the very end of the movie, I was thinking to myself, how the hell did they make 5 more of these?
Yeah. I had the Mr. Sunday Movies thought when they were talking about Morbius. I'm like, here's my biggest problem with the film industry these days, or ever, the history of filmmaking. There is this thing called a tax write-off. Use it. If a movie sucks,
how did we get there?
Because guys, there are movies that get tax write-offs that are apparently really good movies that we never see because of, we don't care, we're just going to take a tax write-off. Stop making bad movies. If you make a bad movie, take it as a tax write-off and you're fine. This is not hard. If a movie sucks, don't release it. In the modern era, bad movies should not exist. I understand why they exist, but they shouldn't exist because of something called a tax write-off. Use it. That's my spiel. Brandon, go ahead.
There's one subtopic I did not expect to hit in this show tonight.
You need bad movies because people love the so bad it's good genre. So you need bad movies.
Yeah, I guess, but
I am apparently not one of those people.
Well, there's a difference though between your Sharknadoes and your Emoji movies.
Yeah,
exactly. Emoji movies should have been a tax write-off. Yeah.
Like you also got to realize too, like given the budget, given the B movie status of this, it's gonna get made and released. Like that. That's the whole point of it.
What?
Like,
you get $900,000 in taxes, or not? Yeah, $900,000 in taxes.
But it's so bad that it's good.
Yeah,
and that's the point of this. Is like,
and by the way, I think they made more money releasing it than they would have if they tax wrote off it, so it's fine.
Yeah, they made like this is released on like a budget of what, like A couple million, not even a couple million. Maybe.
It didn't do well at the box office, but it did well on TV because this was released straight to TV.
Yeah,
but I think there were some movie
rentals.
theaters that had it, and rentals.
And rentals back in the day.
Yeah, this
rentals
has-
were
this
huge
has-
for this.
Yeah, this has a budget of about
2 million.
2 million.
2 million.
And yeah, 2 million. Are you? But before I let you go, Brandon, since I have this up, do you want to hear all the names for the franchise? Every
love
single
it.
movie that. Okay,
It,
so
it leans into the campiness of it. That's the point.
Right. So here's all the movies that are part of the Sharknado universe, the Sharknado cinematic universe. Here we go. Sharknado 2, the second one. Sharknado 3. Oh, Sharknado 3. Oh, hell no. That's literally what it's called. Sharknado, The Fourth Awakens. Star Wars reference.
Even I knew that one.
Yeah. Sharknado 5, Global Swarming. And then the last one.
What?
And the last one. The Last Sharknado, It's About Time. Then, in the cinematic universe, there are 3 spin-off films of this movie. Lava Lantula, Sharknado Heart of Darkness, and Two Lava, Two Lantula.
No, Heart of Sharkness.
Heart of Sharkness. And then
Okay,
Two
that
Lava, Two Lantula.
that one's not bad. What does a chinchilla have to do with this movie?
Apparently, there's also a lava attack in this universe.
I just didn't get the two chinchilla names.
Well, no, it's not. It's not chinchilla. It's not chinchilla. It's a tarantula.
Oh, it's a tarantula. It's
Oh.
a tarantula? Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
that means at least makes mildly more sense. But mildly more sense is a very relative phrase when it comes to this movie.
Lava Lantula is a film that takes place after a series of volcanic eruptions in Los Angeles unleashes a swarm of gigantic lava-breathing tarantulas.
Yep.
That sounds awesome,
and
actually.
you do know,
There you go.
you do know what the pun is when they say two lava, two lantula, right?
No.
No.
Too fast, too furious.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No.
About to say, I was like, whoa.
Oh.
I pick up on puns as much as anybody, and I completely would not have gotten that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Brandon, because I want to give you your piece in this segment, but the last thing is the last thing that I just saw. It said a representative of the National Weather Service jokingly recommended what to do in a Sharknado. As with any, by the way, so this is on Wikipedia. As with any water sprout or tornado, the best advice is to be in an interior part of the lowest floor of a sturdy building, not outside whether sharks are raining down or not. Organizations such as the Red Cross of Oklahoma City, yes, the Red Cross, also use this movie as an opportunity to pass on storm safety information, while others incorporate it into their own advertising.
You showed him Twister. You showed him Twister.
What?
And by the way, I'm just gonna say this: the actual advice that they give in this movie about tornadoes is accurate. They really did that properly. It is accurate. Anyway,
I would hope to God if anything was going to be accurate, it would be that.
There is one stupid inaccuracy that happens
Which
at
is?
the end of this movie.
which
You
is
can't
the
throw
bombs.
you can't throw a bomb into a tornado. Doesn't work. You can't throw a bomb into it. There's a
Is that where the whole thing came up? Where I heard people talking about bombing hurricanes. Is that where that whole thing came from?
probably.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Only in
you
this
can't-
country.
You can't bomb. You cannot bomb a geographical occurrence, a weather pattern.
I can't believe that actually needs to be said.
By the way, I'm gonna say this really quick. I'm sorry to
What?
go back to this, but our current president was wondering if we could bomb a tornado in actual brief.
That's where
He
that was
actually
coming
asked-
from. That's where that was coming from.
Like,
I'm just
God.
gonna say that. Anyway, your turn, Brandon. I'm sorry to impede on your segment. Go ahead.
Unbelievable.
So when I first found out about this movie, and I knew about this pretty much around the same time that Jane found out. Basically, yeah, we were 13 years old, around 2013, and Adam told me about this because Adam loves things that are so cheesy that they're good, and
That's why we made Adam watch Who Killed Captain Alex, because we knew he would love it.
yeah, I know, which is so
Is that the one you were telling me about that got made with like $700?
yeah,
Yeah, that
not
we're
even-
gonna watch it. It's our third off-season movie. It's our third week. We're gonna make you watch it.
It's so yeah. But I remember him telling me about this for years, like since we were about 13 years old. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it eventually. Like, I remember it was on Sci-Fi, and I remember seeing like the posters for it and all that different stuff. And like, oh yeah, they're coming out with a second one, and a third one. I'm like, okay, I didn't even see the first one yet. So years go by. So I finally get around to my first watch this time around, and I've seen a clip or two here or there beforehand, like bits and pieces, whatever. But this is my first time actually watching it, and I was like, okay, I know what I'm in for. He gave me the premise years ago, and I haven't forgotten about it. It's like one of those, like, he beat it into my brain pretty much, like when we were young teenagers. That I was like, oh yeah, you have to watch this because it's so bad, it's good. I'm gonna keep reminding you about it. I'm like, okay, sure. So I never forgot about this. So when Shane said, oh yeah, we're gonna do Sharknado, I'm like, yes, I finally have an excuse to watch a crap movie. But
The first time that sentence has ever been said.
yeah,
True.
but like, and the second one's actually good too. After that, the series is a train, well, more of a train wreck than what you could imagine. But but the second one I'll watch on my own time, obviously. And so, like, it's this whole thing, and if you know the backstory of the actors like Tara Reid and Ian Zerling, is that they were like 90s like stars or 90s early 2000s stars, and especially Ian Zerling being on 90210.
Yeah.
So this movie kind of plays into them being like quote unquote sex symbols a little bit too.
Yeah.
So there's a couple little gags like that, but and you know what's funny? I actually did Google this. I did Google that because I'm like, I know that that's not right, but I just want to see what the Google thing has to say, like the AI and whatnot has to say about like bombing a tornado. And when I look it up, it's like oh, in theory, bombing a tornado sounds like it could work, and here's why. In theory, it could work, but this is why it doesn't, because that's stupid. Basically, is what it said. So
That's awesome. They use Google AI for that. That's still a great way
Yeah.
to use artificial
I mean,
intelligence.
you get the AI overview for everything now when you search
Yeah,
something up.
which I like because it's a fast way to use the internet. But
Although it's not always 100% correct either.
No, I've done it a couple times, and it low-key actually sucks sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like oh yeah, well what year did Aaron Judge win MVP? And it's like 2019. I'm like, no, he didn't. What are you talking about?
I told you about the time. I told you about last year, about a week or two after Super Bowl 59, and it told me that Philly had won one Super Bowl.
it's so funny. I did AI for this show. I looked up our show on Google AI, and everyone comes up just fine, but Scoop. Scoop is like the most anonymous person here.
Did you try my actual name?
No, because on our thing it says Scoop, so people don't know
Right.
who you are on the internet.
Right, but if you tried my actual name, it probably would have shown up.
Oh, it definitely would have. But anyway, continue.
So we're gonna try that. But it's just funny how this and that's why it's so bad. It's good because from a lot of the reasons that we're saying, like it doesn't try to be serious. Like or at least it has the facade of seriousness, but you can see that they're clearly not being serious. I mean, obviously, look at it's so over the top throughout the whole movie, but look at the ending when he gets swallowed by the shark and somehow still cuts it open and pops out of it.
I knew that was
bro.
gonna happen.
And somehow Nova, Cassie Zerbo's character, is still alive, even though she was eaten by the shark like 10 minutes ago. Like, okay, that totally makes sense. But like
The rules
Yeah.
in this universe are wrong, and I like it. I like that the rules
Yeah.
are wrong.
Yeah, and it's like I treat this movie as like, oh yeah, it's an alternate universe. I don't treat it as like, oh yeah, it's L.A. No, this is an alternate universe, and I love it.
This is
because
an
it's stupid.
alternate universe, Los Angeles. Yep.
Yeah, and like I literally, I mean, I started laughing pretty much immediately, but I'm
Yeah, no,
laughing.
this is
I'm-
Los Santos.
pretty
Yes.
much, yeah, you're about right there. And it's I was laughing about the whole way through, but it's just funny that like where I really started losing it is like them is yeah like they're driving in literally like waist high water. I'm like, you do know your car wouldn't go through that, right?
Right.
You know that your engine would flood and your car would literally stop. Like it will not work. So like it's just funny watching them drive. It's like you would think they're driving a tank through water, not a regular like small like SUV. But that's just part of the charm of it. It's so bad it's good. It's like you gotta look at it like the way I look at it is like this is an alternate universe, yes, but like an alternate universe where these people are like superheroes. So
Yeah.
like they can drive through 10 feet of water. They can split sharks in half with chainsaws that fly at them at 1,000 miles an hour. They can bomb a tornado. Sure, save the day, I guess.
I guess.
But
Until the second movie comes out.
yeah, it happens again. And I want to watch the trailers for each of these movies too to be like, because I just want to hear like the serious like trailer voice, be like, in a world where or something like that. Like, I want to be able to like just see how bad the trailers are, like how funny they are.
The way you just did that voice sounded like Law and Order Special.
Yeah. Special
That.
Victims Unit.
Yeah, that.
Listen,
SVU.
there's not many times I could put my voice to good use because it's raspy at its normal level. That was a good use of it.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
The whole. I'm trying to think of like other things that make it. Oh, well, you got. Well, and just another stupid thing is like when they meet up with his son at like the airplane hangar, whatever it is. They do say, they also like. There's like what 4 or 5 people in the flight academy that are like behind this little like tin barrier. Like I'm like, you do realize if a tornado actually hit that, first of all, that's not a secure area, so you're gonna get ripped away by a tornado if it plows through there anyway. But also, that is not a safe place to hide. They're like, oh yeah, this is a safe place to hide from the storm that's coming. It's like, no, it's not. But okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's like it's just that it has that charm of like it knows it's stupid and it wants you to know that it's stupid, and it's like you want to just. This is where you shut your like there's movies where you shut your brain off and you watch and you're like, okay, it's dumb, but I get it. This one you have to like shut your brain off to the point of being like brain dead. Like no,
Yeah.
shut your brain off completely and watch it, and you'll actually end up liking it for what it is. So
100%. 100%.
I know that Rotten Tomatoes has it at like a 7 because it's so bad it's good.
The popcorn meter's at a 45, which is kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Which is crazy. It's like the one bad movie where it's like, okay, you would figure that fans would like it and critics would hate it, but it's actually like flipped. Critics actually like it and fans hate it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, but I think over time that rating, like that, those reviews got to be from like years ago because now everybody I know that talked about this movie loves it. So
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
okay,
No, I
yeah.
love it. I love it. I think it's.
Yeah.
I was like, I love this.
It's like this movie has to have this movie has to have 2 sets. Oh, we never even gave ratings for this, by the way.
No ratings. No ratings. We're not doing
Because I
ratings for
want
this.
to give it a rating so bad.
What rating? What rating? Okay,
There's
do
no
it. What
rating that feels accurate though.
Exactly. Okay, give it a rating.
Because you have to give it 2 separate ones. That's why. Like
Okay, then
as
give
a-
it. Go.
Like as a movie, it's like a -5 out of 10. But like it's in the negatives. It's like it's so far in the negatives that it would be considered bone chilling cold for what it was last weekend out here. That's how bad
It loops around.
is. But as like like the dumbest popcorn flick ever, it's like an 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it the exact same rating. You got it right on the money.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to give it 2 separate ratings. Like you like as a movie, of course it's stupid. Like anybody in those movies, like it's like a negative, 5,000 out of 10. But as a dumb popcorn movie that just to watch with your friends and have a good time, it's an 8 out of 10 easy.
Right. And again, what is cool about So Bad It's Good movies is that you can tell that from the writing, the whole pre-production process, the camera work, the actors. It's like, we love how stupid this is. We actually enjoy it. It's a good time. You can tell that, and that's what makes it fun.
The crazy thing is when we get to watch The Room, by the way, that was made with the intentions of it actually being a serious movie.
No, let's not even put it that way. That was made with the intention of winning the Best Picture at the Oscars.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. And we'll do 2 separate weeks for that movie because I want you guys to watch Disaster Artist because I haven't watched that yet. Which is the story about how this movie got made. So we'll do 2 weeks on that. Anyway, does anyone else want to give ratings on this at any ratings at all? Because I'm agreeing with Brandon. No, exactly. There we go. Okay, before we go, I asked when we did our Senior Bowl show, Shane. I concluded by asking your reflections on the season and on this NFL season, and your reflections on what we did as a show this year. So I'm going to ask you this question to finish this off. What is your reflection of this NFL season? What is your reflection on what we did as a show, as we won't be on? Our next show is Saturday the 28th, so 2 full weeks off. But what is your reflection on this season and what we did as a group this year?
Well, in the NFL season, I mean, pretty good.
Yeah, duh.
But no, this year was just so weird because there was so much parody, so much unexpected stuff, and normally our whole lives has been like 3 or 4 division winners repeat as division winners the following year, and then there's one team that goes worst to first and one team that goes first to worst. This year there were, I think, 4 teams that went worst to first, which is like unheard of, and I think there was only 1 team that repeated, which was Houston. Oh, and Philly. So I guess
Philly.
And then it was just like, yeah, and then Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, all these usual suspects were nowhere to be seen in January. It was just
Josh Allen still blew it.
Yeah, and the Lions had been hot; they weren't around. Like it was just so much stuff that the meme well, that wasn't in my bingo card. It was not in my bingo card.
This Super Bowl wasn't even close to my bingo card.
I think I got my bingo card from the wrong manufacturer.
Yeah, exactly. So in a way, I think there was a lot of kind of like sloppy games and moments, but it was also kind of fun in that regard. Just the fact that it was so unpredictable from week to week, and just like just kind of felt like the NFL was drunk. And I think we capitalized well on all that. To be honest, I mean, not to toot our own horn or anything, but
that's kind of why I asked the question. Toot our own horn for a bit, lol.
Yeah, but it's always fun. Just after all these crazy plays and moments and things, just to be able to talk about it with sane, level-headed people. And
you got me instead.
Yeah, well, no. But yeah, no, fun season as always. Big fan of the way it ended. For no reason in particular. But yeah, I'm already looking forward to next year. I just say I know it just ended yesterday, but I'm already like, all right, give me more. So
Yeah, I'm gonna say that we're obviously not gonna do this until August and whatever with free agency. I don't even know what to do for next year. I have no idea. Zero. I have no idea.
What do you mean? What to do for next year? I'm lost. What do you mean?
What? Who am I taking for the Super Bowl? Who am I taking to win divisions? I have
Oh,
no idea.
why would you even try to do that now? We haven't had free agency. We haven't had trades. We haven't had the draft. Like, why would you even try to do that now?
I always think, okay, who do I think is going to go there next year? And yeah, we have no idea. Okay,
well,
really
that's
quick.
idiotic. No offense.
Yeah, no, that's part of why I do it. Before we go, quick shout out to Mike Tirico for what is, I would argue, the greatest 2 days of sports broadcasting, like at least in the last 10 to 20 years. It's definitely one of the greatest things in broadcast history. This man straight up did the Super Bowl. Well, not only that, he did Olympics before the Super Bowl. You know, in their San Francisco studio, I think, or whatever. I don't watch Olympic primetime because it's not live. Anyway, he does that. Then he goes over, and then he does it on the field. And then he flies on a private plane right after that's done, roughly 13 hours from departing California. This man is in the broadcast center in Milan right now, which is legendary. And by the way, I also want to shout out everyone else who works at NBC for how insane this month is going to be. I mean, you had the Super Bowl, you have the Olympics, you have the All-Star Game, Scott Hansen as well, and everyone doing Gold Zone. I mean, that's crazy. You're doing NFL. Like, everyone who has done NFL stuff this week and immediately switches to the Olympics in like a professional capacity, everybody, you all are crazy and we love you for it, because oh my god, that is just unbelievable, beyond any shadow of a doubt, unbelievable that NBC is able to pull this off, and we'll see it again with the All-Star Game as well. So yeah, enjoy the Olympics, and we'll see you guys in approximately 2 weeks. Here's to a great 2025 and an even better 2026 for Scoop, for Shane, for Brandon. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. Peace out, everybody.
Thanks,
Night, y'all.
See you.